Have you ever seen something out of the corner of your eye? During a power flicker? A shape in the dark that vanishes the instant the lights come back on. For Elliot Ward, that fleeting moment became a living nightmare. It all started on a stormy night in Briar Hollow. The power blinked to blackout so fast you'd barely notice. But Elliot did. For a split second, he saw those still figures standing in his hallway. When the lights returned, it was gone. He brushed it off as exhaustion. He'd been hunched over old radios all evening. His eyes were playing tricks on him. But 2 hours later, it happened again. The darkness swallowed the room, and this time the figure was closer, standing just inside the kitchen doorway. He whispered to himself, trying to stay calm. No, just a hallucination. It's my eyes. But his voice trembled. The next morning, he tried to talk to his elderly neighbor, Mrs. Holden. Before he could even finish his sentence, she looked at him with wide, frightened eyes and said, "You saw him, didn't you?" Elliot froze. Saw who? Her hands were shaking as she whispered, "The man in the flicker," and then slammed the door in his face. Elliot was a logical man, an electronics repairman who didn't believe in ghosts. So, he decided to find a rational explanation. He set up a high-speed camera in his living room, pointing it towards the empty space where he'd seen the shape. That night, at exactly 11:43 p.m., the power flickered again. Half a second of pure darkness. Then, light. Elliot rushed to the camera, his heart pounding. He scrubbed through the footage, frame by painstaking frame. Frame 312, nothing. Frame 300, traces still, nothing. Frame 314, a blur, a figure. And then, on frame 315, his blood ran cold. There he was, a tall, thin man with milky white eyes and no pupils, standing 3 feet behind Elliot's own chair, perfectly still, expressionless. He was outlined in a faint, crackling halo of static. Elliot slowly turned around, staring at the empty space where the man had been. He didn't sleep that night. The next day, he took the footage to Marcus Holla, a local electrician with 20 years of experience. Marcus watched the video 3 times, his face growing paler with each viewing. Finally, he looked at Elliot, his voice shaking slightly. "That's not a glitch," he said. He insisted on checking everything: Elliot's wiring, the transformer outside, the circuit breakers. Everything was perfectly normal. There was no reason for the power flickers, and stranger still, they were only happening in Elliot's house. Marcus made his excuses and left. Clearly spooked, he left a little too quickly. After that, the blackouts got worse. They started lasting longer. A full second, then 2. With hatch 1, Elliot felt an unnatural chill just before the darkness hit, like something cold stepping into the room with him. He kept the camera running and caught the man in new, terrifying places. Behind the couch, standing in his bedroom doorway, in one horrifying frame, the man was crouched low to the ground, his head tilted at an impossible angle. Those white eyes staring straight into the lens. The static around him seemed to grow thicker each time, as if he was slowly forming, becoming more real. His sister, Nora, thought he was losing his mind until she saw the footage for herself. The moment the white-eyed figure appeared on the screen, she gasped. "Elliot, that's not a person." She begged him to leave the house, to come stay with her. He refused, stubbornly believing his home was the only safe place he had left. But his cat, Toby, changed everything. One night, a blackout lasted for 3 long seconds. When the lights flickered back on, Toby was backed into a corner, fur on end, hissing at absolutely nothing. But Elliot felt it. He felt a presence standing right there, watching. That was it. He grabbed the cat and fled to Nora's apartment. For the first time in days, Elliot fell into a deep, exhausted sleep. But his dreams were filled with the sound of crackling static, and a voice trying to break through the noise. In the dream, the man stood behind him, taller now, bending forward as if his neck had no bones. Elliot woke up with a gasp, drenched in sweat. Out of paranoia, he had set up a camera in Nora's living room. He checked the recording. As he slept on the couch, the lights in the apartment flickered for just a fraction of a second, and there, on the screen, was the man. inches from Elliot's sleeping face, just watching him. But this time was different. When the blackout ended, the figure didn't just vanish. He faded, like smoke slowly retreating back into the shadows. Elliot knew then that he couldn't escape. He packed his bags and started moving. He stayed in hotels, with friends, anywhere but one place for too long. It didn't matter. The man wasn't tied to the house. He was tied to Elliot. Months later, in a hotel room 200 miles away, the power flickered. It was so fast, Elliot almost missed it. But in the dark reflection of the TV screen, he saw him, the pale figure, standing right behind him. White eyes, no pupils, perfectly still. Nowhere was safe anymore. Now, whenever a storm rolls in, Elliot can't breathe. He sleeps with 4 high-speed cameras running all night. Every night. Some nights, the footage is clear. But on other nights, a single frame will capture the man standing in a doorway, or at the foot of his bed, or crouched behind a piece of furniture. Always closer, always clearer. The static fills the edges of the frame, as if he's pushing through the very barrier of reality, struggling to be seen. The last recording Elliot saved is one he refuses to show anyone. It shows him sleeping on his side, and the man is standing directly behind him, a pale hand hovering just an inch from his shoulder, not reaching, not grabbing. Just waiting for the next blackout, waiting for the moment the darkness lasts just long enough, waiting for the moment he no longer needs to disappear when the lights return. Elliot knows that one day soon, the man won't fade back into the static. He'll stay right behind him, breathing the same air, and on that day, Elliot won't wake up again. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more horror stories from Horror Signal TV.